I'm gonna get back to this tomorrow. The just makes sense. Yeah, that's got to be it. So, all right. So why don't I leave myself a few notes? Our notes should be: do it the simple and easy iterative way, and cache the result. Then hit the DB for the specific users and the self user if not in the previous result. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to iterate through the unique interval stat context stat names and just do like an order by value descending and limit 100 and just do it. It's gonna, the database is right next to this thing in the data center, so it should be fast. At least it shouldn't be super freaking slow. And then if we cache the result for a certain amount of time, I'm trying to think if I need to keep a warm cache of these things or if it's enough, because what I can do is, like, if this is only going to take 50 milliseconds because it only takes 50 calls to do it, which that's not too bad. Now the problem would be that every time this cache is missed, if there's a lot of people fetching this answer, it would basically slam the database with another, like, let's say there's 1,000 people online and they all visit the high score page at the same time. Then 1,000 of these calls are going to jump off and try to do stuff. So if I locked it per server, so like only one server at a time could fetch a specific answer, then that would mean that we wouldn't all hit it at the same time. It'd be like a maximum of the number of servers I have running. So if I had, and that's only going to be like 10 or like 5 max ever. So it'd be like 5 of these servers all running at the same time. Those threads would block while the answer is fetched. So we might have 5 of the same query running. And we could always keep a warm cache of the specific, like the most common thing, which would be like the current top 10 in every most recent interval. All right, so that's what we should do. Have the current server lock on unique interval stat context stat name, save the answer in cache, do check lock check with cache. I need to make a warm cache of latest interval stats. Now the question is, I need to get like the current interval ID, and for every stat I would need the like top 100 cached. So how many stats is that going to be? If there are 50 different stats, that's 50 times 100. So we got like 5,000 stats that we need cached on the server at any given time, but there are maybe 6 contexts, so we're looking at 30,000 30,000 things in cache that we're going to have to keep. That's not awful. That's okay. How many stats are we going to have? Like, that's the other thing that starts to get... Like, stats just get stupid. And then we also have, like, the results. So if we have, like, 200 missions, and I got to keep all that shit cached, you know, in the top 100 of that. So, you know, it's like 100 times 6 different intervals times, you know, let's say 300 missions. That's, you know, 180,000 actual pieces of data I have to keep track of and cached, which it really isn't all that much comparatively, but it's good to keep these numbers in mind because let's say we had like 400 or 500 stats, which you could very easily do. All of a sudden this number gets humongous, and there's only so much RAM you can throw at your machine before it explodes. And that sort of thing where you're just like, you're basically just like loading data from the database, and it's just like, what the hell are you doing with your life? All right, so we'll do that. We'll keep it reasonable, and I'm going to start on that tomorrow. So, all right. So thanks for sticking around, and I will be back some other time. Goodbye.